There are 3 things about eSIMs that can completely change which one is actually best for you. I use Saily. I'll explain why, but first, check the links for the latest best prices we could find that help support our channel at no extra cost to you. Here's the big picture. Most eSIMs work, and the pricing is varied, so there isn't a quick cheapest because that depends on where you're going, how long you use it, and you might ultimately pick one that gives you issues, all to save like $8. So that's why we're going right into the details, because the one I consider best might also end up being the cheapest for like 50% of you watching. So here we go. Details. Most eSIMs activate when you reach your destination or 30 days after your purchase, whichever comes first. That second part is the trap nobody talks about. So let's say you're organized and responsible and you install your eSIM a month before your trip. Congrats. Your plan just activated automatically, and now you're burning through your 7-day validity period while you're still at home watching Netflix on your couch. You just paid for international data to stream Bridgerton in your living room. Install a few days before your trip, not weeks. Also, some eSIMs say activation successful, but the actual data connection doesn't work for up to an hour after landing. This is why bad eSIMs feel broken. So if you look at the website, they'll show you peak speeds, 200 megabits per second, lightning fast 5G. That's the peak speed in an urban center under ideal conditions. That is not your everyday experience. Major cities, you might hit those numbers. Rural Italy, 3G. And that's not the eSIM's fault, that's just infrastructure. But here's what is specific to eSIMs. If your speeds are weirdly slow, go into your phone settings and manually select a different network instead of using automatic network selection. In countries like Canada or Vietnam, this can be the difference between I can video call my family and I can send text message if I stand very still, hold my phone at a 47-degree angle. Website speed doesn't equal lived speed. Unlimited data plans have a fair use threshold, typically 3 to 5 gigabytes of high-speed data per day. After that, throttled to around 1 megabit per second. That's enough for messaging and email. It's not enough for video calls or streaming. But here's where things get interesting. Some eSIMs cap your hotspot usage separately. Now, I like Saily because it doesn't cap hotspot usage at all. You can share your data however you want. You want to tether your laptop? Go ahead. You want to share with 3 friends? Be my guest. This is where Saily quietly beats most competitors. Most eSIM providers offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Here's the catch. If you use more than 1% of your data, you're not getting a refund. If you buy a 1 gigabyte plan and use an extra 10 megabytes trying to figure out why your connection isn't working, you just forfeited your refund. So the only way to know if your eSIM actually works is to activate it and use it. But the second you use it, you can't get your money back if it doesn't work. It's a paradox. It's a trap. This is why support speed matters. Saily's live chat averages 1-minute response times. Some competitors, several hours. And by then, you've already burned through way more than 1% of your data just trying to get someone to acknowledge your existence. Once you understand those 3 things, activation timing, speed reality, and fake unlimited, the market narrows very fast. I've got a link in the description with our current best deal we could find, but let me explain exactly why Saily wins for most people. With Saily, you install the eSIM once. One time, that's it. Then you just buy new plans through the app for whatever country you're going to next. You don't have to reinstall a fresh eSIM every time you travel. Saily doesn't cap your tethering or hotspot usage either. You can share your data with your laptop, tablet, your travel buddy's phone, whatever. Saily just doesn't care. Saily includes security features that most eSIMs just don't offer. Ad blocker, web protection, virtual location changer. You know, the things you actually want when you're using sketchy cafe Wi-Fi in Rome. That ad blocker alone can save up to 28% of your data by blocking ads before they even load. On a 10 gigabyte plan, that's almost 3 gigabytes you're not wasting on garbage banner ads. Saily is backed by Nord Security. Yeah, the NordVPN people, so they actually know how internet security works. And if you get the Ultra plan, you also get subscriptions to NordVPN, NordPass, NordLocker, and Incogni. Incogni? I've reviewed Incogni. They're one of my top data broker removal server. Plus, in 2026, they added airport lounge access and fast-track security, which is wild for an eSIM. Saily covers over 200 countries using Tier 1 local carriers. T-Mobile in the US, Rogers in Canada, Vodafone across Europe. You're on the same network locals use, not some deprioritized tourist tier. In testing, we clocked Saily at 264 megabits per second in the US, 203 megabits per second in the UK. And pricing? Saily tends to be cheaper for smaller plans, that 1 gigabyte to 5 gigabyte sweet spot most travelers actually use. Now, is Saily perfect? No. Nothing's perfect, you silly. It's data only, so you won't get a local phone number for SMS verification. If you need that for bike-sharing apps or banking authentication, you'll have to run a dual SIM and keep your regular SIM active for texts. Most modern phones handle this fine. So here's the bottom line. If you're traveling through multiple countries and want one eSIM that works across borders without thinking about it, Saily. Saily is the answer. Single install, no hotspot caps, built-in security, fast support, and it just works. Just install it before you leave. Remember, it's data only, and make sure your phone supports eSIM. Check the link in the description for current pricing, and if this saved you from making a bad eSIM decision, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.